Hello guys, and welcome back to Daily Dose of Honest Science, your science channel that covers medical science. One thing that really sparked my interest is that AI can help us to design drugs. This is something that is kind of a topic right now. I want to share with you why. So why is this important that we use AI for drug discovery? You have a target, or you have many targets, thousands sometimes, and you want to know if one of them is binding to that protein of interest that you have. You want to create something like an antidepressant again that is much more suited. The problem that we face is when you have like thousands of these compounds and you want to match it to that protein, it will be really difficult and time consuming. So what people do in the companies, they have structural biologists who actually determine the structure with this compound and see if it's fitting to the enzyme pocket, for instance. But the problem that we face there is you have to do it for each individual thing. And of course, they have their pipelines and everything is set up. But this new article that just came out in Nature was discussing about using AI, in that case, AlphaFold. AlphaFold is or was a huge thing like 2 or 3 years ago in our field, where basically an AI predicts a complete structure of the protein. You just feed in your sequence and that's it. It was so accurate, and we all were really like blown away when we noticed how accurate it is. I remember when I was talking to some of my friends who are structural biologists, they were blown away because their structure was fitting nearly exactly to that predicted one. And the big difference here is this one is not template driven. That means it's not taking any information from any other known protein where the structure is already there. No, it's doing it on its own. It's learning from a trained data set of how amino acids with each other are forming. But still it poses a challenge because disordered proteins, which means the domains that really don't have a structure, they're going to be not so accurate. And I know that for myself. I worked with them, and this is like really a hard topic. And of course, if you are in the drug discovery field, you really want to make sure that this compound is really fitting into it. Of course, AI can work, but this article is also like pro and cons. So what is the pro? Of course, it's not time consuming. You don't have to do the experimental setup, right? So you just do the compound screening by the AI, and the AI tells you 50 of them from the thousands are the ones that you can do the next trial with. It would save a lot of time and money, but the downside is you are never sure how accurate it is. They looked at something where recently a cryo-EM structure was released. They were really happy that they found a compound that would make sense because they were searching for antidepressant, a new one. Basically, they were really surprised that this kind of worked, and also DeepMind, which is Google, is working on it to make this as an extra available service for the people, because in the end you can only know how the protein works when you know how the structure is. Of course, you do some biochemical experiments, you do some other stuff, but in the end it boils down to how is the structure, how is it formed, what kind of interaction does it have, and also like for having complexes, it's also really important. So what is the take-home message? In my opinion, this should be included and should make the work for many structural biologists easier who are in the drug discovery development, but also always have in mind the downside. Downside is it's an AI. It will never be 100%. So you always have to think of what is the result and what does it tell it me. To all the people who are the structural biologists out there, you will always be needed, because this was kind of an interesting quote that I read at the end. It says, there's a lot of people that want AlphaFold to do everything, and a lot of structural biologists wants to find the reasons to say we are still needed. So you guys you are still needed. Let me know in the comments what kind of stuff you want to cover next. You got interested and want to know more? Then just check out the other video I made about 3 clinical trials that could be revolutionizing medicine in 2024. And if you got interested in a deep talk with a structural biologist, then just watch the first episode of my podcast, Daily Dose of Honest Science. We see us in the next video.